Dylan Andrews, the UCLA guard, announced he has hit the portal, trying to spread his wings away from UCLA. It's been a couple seasons now where he had the opportunity to take a starting role and break out following Tiger Campbell's departure. That didn't really come to fruition in the way neither he or the Bruins would like. Now looking to get a fresh start somewhere else to close his career, being a Big Ten guy, Cart, and Dylan Andrews now being a Big Ten player. What have you seen from Dylan Andrews as a player? What should potential teams know about him?
Yeah, so actually going back to high school, I've always been a big Dylan Andrews fan. I was a big fan of his game. I thought that he, could be, I'm not saying like an NBA player or anything like that, but I was like Dylan Andrews is gonna go and have a really, really good college career playing somewhere. And I kind of it's unfortunate because, his sophomore year you were feeling great about it, right? His sophomore season, he's playing 35 minutes a game. He really picked it up towards the end of the season as well. Like he was playing really well towards the last half of Pac-12 play. Ends up averaging almost 13 points, almost 4 assists, little under 40% from the field, little over 32% from three-point range, and all the numbers just fell this season. His free throw percentage dipped 11%. His shooting percentage dipped. 3-point percentage stayed the same. His minutes were down as well. And look, for better or for worse, I am always an advocate of guards freeing themselves from the shackles that are Mick Cronin and UCLA's team. To be honest with you, I don't know how kids go to UCLA. It seems like the most toxic situation of all time because you don't know what your minutes are going to look like. Like Mick Cronin is liable to bench any starter at any time if they
Mm-hmm.
breathe wrong. So, I'm very interested to see like what his next stop would be. If I am a team that needs a point guard, I would actually feel good about Dylan Andrews being a guy that can run the show. He's got a little bit of a mid-range game, not necessarily overly big or anything like that, but does have some quickness to his game. Uh, I'm a pretty big Dylan Andrews fan.
I am too. And you always have those guys who you can't quit.
Yeah, I wish, and it's funny you said that, Rob, because all the numbers this year should say like, I should back out. Like that sophomore year was a flash in the pan, but
Right.
I can't get away.
It's been 3 years. We should know who he is at this point, but I think the upside is still tantalizing because his freshman year he showed flashes. Last year, remember UCLA had that terrible start to the season
Yeah.
and then like turned it on. We were talking about them potentially like backdooring their way into the NCAA tournament.
hmm
That back half of the season, Dylan Andrews was like one of the best guards in the country. He was
Yeah.
awesome during the
No,
back
like
part.
like legit. He was
Yeah,
I'm looking at the game logs right now. He had like one, two, three. He had like 7 games in single digits, right?
yeah.
The rest of the season, he didn't score below 13 points. Like 20, 18, 21, 13, 12, 13, 15, 21, 21, 18. Like and these are also to go with like 5+ assist games as well. He
Right.
ended the season like on a tear.
And this year, when UCLA had a couple of winning streaks, Dylan Andrews was playing great, and he was a big reason why. When they would lose games, he was incredibly inefficient. Like you look at the shooting splits, 27.4% from the field in losses, 42% in wins. Like that's drastic. That is
Right.
drastic. I think if you can capture some of that upside, I think there's an opportunity for him at the power conference level somewhere where somebody's going to take a chance on that upside. Plus, he's a senior with 3 years of playing experience, 2 years of starting experience. Like that's going to matter certainly. And also, Mick Cronin was not shy about the fact he kind of hated these guards.
Yeah, no, like I said, Mick Cronin, he made it very clear. I mean, he might as well have said like Dylan Andrews by name when he talked about the guards. He legit hated that he was on this team.
I think he was over Andrews and Sebastian Mack. He wanted the Sky Clark show.
I mean, is that what we really want?
No, certainly. And I would want Dylan Andrews. If I was a power conference school in need of a point guard, I would want Dylan Andrews, I think.
Okay, would you want Dylan Andrews to start? Like, do you want him to come in and start for your basketball team?
It depended on my goals for next season.
Mm.
If I am wanting to make a Final Four run, and that's the expectation, I think there are other point guards I would go look at first, obviously. But if I'm a team that want, if the goal for my team is to take a step forward, make the NCAA tournament, maybe have a 1 year bridge guy for bringing in a freshman who we're high on, who's not like ready to start right away, I think you could do a lot worse than Andrews, quite frankly.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. I mean, and I think one really good point that you made is that you have a guy that has started and played like 3 years for the most part. Like, I guess he's gone back and forth between the bench, but having that experience is something that I think helps you in today's days in college basketball. Now, there's not any list out for him yet. He prepped at AZ Compass Prep. He's originally from California, I believe, but he was bouncing back and forth. So he's a West Coast kid. Bouncing back and forth between Arizona and California.
Mhm.
I think I remember specifically out of high school, it came down to UCLA and USC. So he was between the two LA schools. Does USC maybe kick the tires on this one? They do need a point guard.
They do. I wouldn't hate that. Arizona State likes to have a roster full of point guards. I don't
Ooh.
think I'd hate that. And if you're a program like Cal, because Cal had offered him out of high school as well,
Mm,
if you can get Dylan Andrews, I think you're jumping for joy.
100%. And I think that's, and that'd also be just a good pathway for Cal, I think too. Like,
Yeah.
they I think Madison's the coach there, correct?
Yeah.
I think he can build off the fact that like he's taken some guys that maybe necessarily were kind of set aside at their last spot and they were able to find success. Like what Stojakovic did for them this year was crazy. Now he might leave because of how crazy he went, but he was given a second chance basically because he didn't like his first situation and he was able to show out. Now you just got to make that lead to more success. So I think that'd be a really good fit, honestly.
If you were Dylan Andrews in Dylan Andrews' position, what would you be looking for? Like, what would your priorities be?
Oh, see, I'd be so mad at Mick Cronin that I go to USC. I want to play them optimal times a year. That would be my main thing. But no, um, look, I think that Dylan Andrews has like size and quickness and like can get up and down a little bit. So I think playing in an offense with like a little bit more speed to it, right? Now a little bit less Mick Cronin offense, I think would do him good, and also maybe a little bit of change on shot diet. Like I understand that he likes that little mid-range jumper, but I think he can maybe get to the basket a little bit more, work on a three-point shot. I think it's good enough that he should be successful. So I think a change in offensive philosophy would kind of be the best move for him.
I hope he can find a landing spot where there's like a NCAA tournament contender in need of where he can play a starting role. It doesn't have to be like one of the guys or go-to options. But I like his game, and I think there are things you can build on with him, particularly as he goes into his senior year that UCLA just could not capture.
It is March, and that means that March Madness is upon us. And if you are looking for a place to play, Underdog Fantasy has you covered. Sign up and deposit using code SLEEPERS, that's code SLEEPERS, to receive up to $1,000 in bonus credit plus a free pick. Head over to Underdog Fantasy today and use promo code SLEEPERS to take advantage of this amazing offer.